Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Sunday, 16th day. Let me double check that. Yep, 16th day of May, and Erev Shavuos. So in our we've been doing a Hilchos Shavuos now for about 2 weeks, but in our final halacha right before Shavuos, I think we should focus on the Torah study that goes on all night long and hone in on the reason for it. So two things I want to just say here in regards to this. First of all, there is a medrash. It's the source of many rabbi speeches, which says that the Jewish people slept on Shavuos night, and they had to be awakened in the early morning, with Moshe telling them that God is waiting to give you the Torah. So I'm going to leave it to all the rabbis to explain what that midrash really means, because there are so many different things said in many speeches about what the deeper meaning of that really is. Did the Jews really sleep in on the morning of Matan Torah? I mean, it was such a pinnacle moment. So rabbis will give a lot of speeches about that, and you will hear that from your rabbis. But they do say that's one of the reasons that we want to stay awake all night Shavuos night, to kind of show our correcting of that, or how we want to show that we're anxious to accept the Torah, and so people stay up all night learning on Shavuos night. Historically, way back in the 1500s, Rabbi Yosef Karo sort of reawakened, excuse the pun, reawakened the idea of staying up all Shavuos night, and he, in his town, collected together some Kabbalists, and that was kind of like the first time for their era that they began again the idea of staying up all Shavuos night learning Torah. And according to some accounts of the story, you can also check with your rabbis in this. There are different things that people say about this, but according to some of the versions of the story, they actually had some Kabbalistic things happen, like an angel that came and taught them Torah and things like that. So that too reawakened, again, excuse the pun, reawakened the idea of us staying up all Shavuos night. And so now it has become quite prevalent for people in our era to follow that, which began hundreds of years ago, which is to stay up on Shavuos night. Some people will learn Gemara. Some people will say special learnings for Shavuos night, special writings for Shavuos night. So you will follow the customs of your soul and your families, but it is a very common custom for people to stay up and learn different aspects of Torah throughout the night of Shavuos. And I always like to remind everybody, don't use it as a shtick. If you're going to stay up just for the sake of staying up, but you're not going to be positive about what you accomplished that night, then there might not be a big need to stay up. If you're going to be involved in schmoozing and lashon hara and just all night noshing and craziness, and certainly shul hopping in the middle of the night, which doesn't seem safe or appropriate or anything. It's not made for that. It's made for people to stay up and be involved in spirituality that's positive, and the learning of Torah, and then of course a very, very meaningful davening at about 5 in the morning, when it's according to your city schedule, when it's appropriate. You want to make your Shemona Esrei come out to be at sunrise, and all shuls will time it such that their Shachar Shemona Esrei will end up at sunrise. So you can't really rush that davening. It has to be paced such that the Shachar Shemona Esrei turns out to be right at the moment of sunrise. So have a very meaningful Shavuos. Have a very meaningful night of learning if you're learning. Have a very meaningful davening in the morning, and try to be wide awake as much as you can to daven properly. And I will not be giving you a halacha for 2 days now, because of the 2 days that we're observing outside of Israel. And log on again after Shavuos, after 2 days of Shavuos, and I'll have a brand new, God willing, a brand new halacha for you. So good Yontif. Bye-bye.